Hello, this is Lon Safko, author of the Social Media Bible, here for Extreme Digital Marketing. And in this video, I want to talk about psychological hot buttons. I am all about the psychology of your customer, what they're thinking, what they're doing at the time that they receive your email, at the time they're looking at your website, when they're connecting with you on social networks. What are they thinking? What are they doing? What's their background? Are they young? Do they have kids? Are they Generation Xers and Ys and they have a bunch of kids running around screaming, or they just put them to bed? They're working extra hours. Are they doing it on their lunch hour? Are they accessing it through mobile phones? Are they using laptops, desktops? Are they sitting at Starbucks? All these psychological features work into the success of actually connecting with your customers and with your prospects. And even more importantly, the psychological hot buttons are things that you can do, ways that you can phrase normal text, normal sentences, normal email, tweets to actually connect with your customer on a much more basic, much more intrinsic level than if you did just use regular conversation. So let's get into this and let's talk about psychological hot buttons, and we're going to show you a bunch of them. I'm going to give you a bunch of examples, and whether or not you think this has to do with extreme digital marketing, it does. It has to do with websites. It has to do with the title of the page, the first sentence, the type of words you're going to use. It has to do with your tweets. It has to do with how you communicate on Facebook, how you communicate in email. So psychological hot buttons, I think, are very important. That's why I'm doing this video. So let's do it. George Carlin, I think was an amazing man. Of course, a lot of the stuff he said and did was a little bit kind of left wing for me, but that's just my personal opinion. But I thought he was one of the most prolific, intelligent, cerebral comedians that I had ever heard, because he really thought things through. Now, I've got an audio that file that I want to play for you here, where he talks about marketing. And two things that I want you to recognize is, one, why it's so difficult for us as marketers to actually get through to our customers and our prospects. Why is it so hard to connect, to sell, to build that trusted network? Well, we kind of brought it on ourselves, and you're going to hear this in George's audio. The other thing that I want you to appreciate is the audio runs about a minute and a half, which trying to find a minute and a half of George Carlin's monologue that you can play in mixed company, I think you're going to appreciate what a feat that was as well. But let's take a listen to it.
Advertising lullaby. Quality, value, style, service, selection, convenience, economy, savings, performance, experience, hospitality, low rates, friendly service, name brands, easy terms, affordable prices, money-back guarantee. Free installation, free admission, free appraisal, free alterations, free delivery, free estimates, free home trial, and free parking. No cash, no problem, no kidding, no fuss, no muss, no risk, no obligation, no red tape, no down payment, no entry fee, no hidden charges, no purchase necessary. No one will call on you, no payments or interest till September. Limited time only, though, so act now, order today, send no money, offer good while supplies last. 2 to a customer, each item sold separately, batteries not included, mileage may vary, all sales are final, allow 6 weeks for delivery, some items not available, some assembly required, some restrictions may apply. So come on in for a free demonstration and a free consultation with our friendly professional staff. Our experienced and knowledgeable sales representatives will help you make a selection that's just right for you and just right for your budget. And say, don't forget to pick up your free gift, a classic, deluxe, custom, designer, luxury, prestige, high-quality, premium, select, gourmet pocket pencil sharpener. Yours for the asking, no purchase necessary. It's our way of saying thank you. And if you act now, we'll include an extra added free complimentary bonus gift at no cost to you. A classic, deluxe, custom, designer, luxury, prestige, high-quality, premium, select, gourmet combination key ring, magnifying glass, and garden hose in a genuine imitation leather-style carrying case with authentic vinyl trim. Yours for the asking, no purchase necessary. It's our way of saying thank you.
Now, can you imagine that? I mean, do you understand why we as marketers are having so much trouble getting through to our customers? Have you heard any of those phrases before? Have you heard any of them just today. I mean, that I think is just absolutely amazing, and it really explains why we have so much trouble. So what we have to do as marketing people is we've got to get a little bit more creative. If we want people to pay attention, we have to communicate with them at a very, very basic and a very, very powerful manner. So let's take a look at some of those. Here's 10 motivational triggers that are really important. Madison Avenue has worked on these and figured them out. And here are the 10 top motivational triggers. Make more money. Everybody wants to make more money. And remember that the make more money is the very, very top level. People don't want to make more money. I don't want to make more money. You know what I want? I want financial independence so that the more money that I've made makes me happier. So I can buy things. So I don't have the stress of having to worry about paying the bills. So if you think about it, making more money is really a means to actually getting the things that you want, which is happiness. But people understand that if you say make more money, that additional money will buy you additional happiness. And if you're not making money, then simply save money. Saving money is equally as good. Remember that, because if you're saving money, you actually have more money to make you more happy. So that really is a very strong motivator. And of course, the other one is to save time. Nowadays, any time that you can save time, for example, the 7 Habits of Highly Efficient People by Stephen Covey, and the 4-day work week, and all of those are all about saving time. And that's why people would plunk down lots of money, because they're willing to exchange money for time. So if you've got a product or a service where you can boast saving time, be sure that's always in your copy. Looking better, feeling better, looking younger. People always want to look better. Nobody ever wants to look worse. So that, it drives traffic to Levi's and fitted jeans and the Gap and Abercrombie and Fitch. And so looking better is a really important psychological hot button for almost every demographic. And learn something new. And again, think about that. If you learn something new, you might be able to apply it. That's why you're in this membership site. That's why you're listening to this video right now, because you want to learn something new. And the reason is that if you learn something new, you might be able to apply it. And if you apply it and it works, you're going to make more money, you're going to save money, you're going to save time. And let me tell you, if you make more money and save time and save money, you're going to look better, because there's going to be a lot less stress in your life. And of course, living longer, anything that you can do to prolong life or be healthier as you continue through life, that's a very strong motivation. And being comfortable in a lot of ways. Being comfortable with yourself, being comfortable with your spouse, or just being financially comfortable, being comfortable with your financial situation. Being loved, that's a real powerful, and not just being loved like a spouse loves another spouse or a child loves a parent. No, but just being loved, just being accepted, just being part of that group. The number one psychological hot button that drives social networks is being part of a larger group. It is being loved. When you join Facebook and you're communicating with other people, they care about you, and that makes you feel good. And being popular. Andy Warhol's 15 Minutes of Fame is one extreme, but just being a popular blog writer, bloggist, or being popular on Twitter, being popular in your social group, or being popular at work. Again, really, really powerful psychological hot buttons. And of course, the last one is to gain pleasure. And really, almost nearly every one of the above is really about some type of gratification, satisfaction, or gaining pleasure. More food, more money, more women, more cars, more houses, whatever motivates you. So gaining pleasure is one of the top 10 buttons. So I want you to reflect on these 10 hot phrases, psychological hot phrases, and remember that as you're writing your copy, have those in front of you and see how many of those you can actually hit on in your copy. And to get a little bit more specific, let's talk about specifically what's driving those hot buttons. And really, it's the feeling of involvement or ownership. Involvement in something bigger than yourself, involvement in an organization. You want to be part of the family, the company picnic, the church group, the sporting event. Again, one of the things that drive sporting event attendees is the fact that they're part of a larger group. Half of that stadium is rooting for one team and the other half is rooting alongside of you. And that's a very powerful psychological need and feeling. And these words are really important too. When you communicate to your customers and prospects, you have to be honest. You have to come across as honest. In social media, I say sincere, authentic, and transparent. Sincere, authentic, and transparent are the three most important words in social media. And I further that by saying that if you're not transparent, your customers will see right through you. Well, the same applies for honesty, integrity, and credibility. You really have to come across with integrity, with honesty, and with credibility. So, don't say that the product is going to do something that it's not going to do. Don't, exaggerate. Be honest. Your customers, actually, they're not stupid. Your customers are no longer consumers, they're prosumers. Those are professional consumers. So come across with honesty, integrity, and credibility, and you're always going to win. Value and proof of value. Value. I could go off on an entire presentation just on this value proposition. When your customer buys something, they have in their mind a value on that product or on that service. What is that value going to bring them? What are they going to get out of that value? And what are they going to have to pay for it? Think of it as one of those scales that have the two platforms on them. And on one side, you have the value that you're providing. And on the other side, you're having the time, the energy, the money, the expense of your customer to acquire that product. Now, in their minds, they want to make sure that their side of the scale is going to tip and not the other side. So when you communicate with your customers, be absolutely sure that you're continuously communicating that value and prove that value, so that the value that you give your customers and you sell to your prospects is equal to or greater than their perceived notion of what they're going to pay for it. So again, proof of value. And justify the purchase. Your customers are going to need to justify the purchase. You've heard the term buyer's remorse. Well, before they actually buy, they're going to go through, consciously or subconsciously, this proof of value, this value proposition that you see above. So make it easy for them. Give them the tools, give them the data, give them the information that they need so that they can actually justify the purchase before they make it. That way they'll make the decision faster, and there's going to be less of a chance of buyer's remorse, which means that you're going to reduce any type of returns. So give them the tools necessary. And don't forget, people are greedy. Now, I don't want to sound negative, the glass is half empty kind of a guy, but greed motivates a lot of people, most people at one level or another. So if there's something in it for them, play that up, play up the greed factor, because that's a really hot primeval psychological feeling. The other thing is establish authority. You don't want, for example, you see a doctor's plaque on the wall. Well, they never actually say where they graduated in their class, and you're always assuming that the doctor that you're going to graduated top in his class. What if the doctor that you were sitting in his office and you were reading his plaques and waiting for him to come in graduated second to last or last in his class? You probably would get up, put your clothes on, and run out of that office. Absolutely. You don't want to buy from somebody who's last in his class. So establish authority. One of the best ways, this isn't a social media presentation, but one of the best ways to do that is to be out there blogging on the subject. If people see you talking about it and providing good, valuable information and great insights, you will establish yourself as an authority. But don't forget to work that into your copy, whether it's a 140-character tweet or a Facebook page. And satisfaction, conviction. You need to let your customers know that if they buy your product, they will be satisfied. And many other people have bought your product or used your service, and they've been satisfied. So again, give them the tools to help make that decision. And of course, you got to discuss the nature of the product and the service. We all know that, but people want data, especially B-type personalities want specific data and information. A-type personalities basically make decisions based on instinct. B-types are very analytical, so they need that data. Also, current fads. If your product or your service fits into anything that you're going to see in the news or hear about on TV, or there's any way that you can pull in any kind of a current fad, definitely do that, because there's a lot of people out there that buy shirts because there's an alligator on it, or they buy pants because there's a certain designer label, or they buy cars because it's got a certain hood ornament, or cell phones. I mean, think about it. So fads are really important. Communicate that if it's possible. And timing. Timing in a lot of ways. The faster you buy this, the faster you're going to benefit. If you don't buy it now, the sale's going to be over, or we're going to run out, or so. You've heard the term sense of urgency, but there's a lot of different ways of looking at sense of urgency, such as, we've got an unlimited supply of these things, but the sooner you buy it, the sooner you implement it, the sooner you're going to be taking advantage of all of the benefits that come along with this product. And of course, the other normal forms of sense of urgency. And we've mentioned a desire to belong. Say other people just like you have bought this product. I mean, I love the thing on Amazon where it says people have bought the product that you just bought have also bought this. Oh, okay. Well, I consider myself a relatively intelligent person. I'm not stupid. I'm actually smarter than average. And if all these other people who bought this product and I bought that product, well, you know what? They must be smarter than average. They must know something that I don't know. I better buy those products. Kind of weird, huh? But we do it. We do it. Now, tell me the truth. Last time you went to Amazon, you looked at those other products, and I'll bet you there's some of you out there that actually bought the products because other people just like you, just as smart as you, bought those products. So you really have this desire to belong. And again, belonging to a church group, a social group, a family, a business organization, a social network, whatever. And desire to collect. Well, collect, benefit, gain. Everybody has got that desire to get something out of the transaction. And then curiosity. Sometimes you can just play up to curiosity. You see it all the time on the newspaper rags, the National Enquirer. 5 steps to lose the Christmas weight. 10 ways to get into your summer bikini. 5 things to a better sex life. 7 ways to save your marriage. 8 whatever, So curiosity is a very strong factor because again, let's admit it, how many times have you been standing in the checkout line, looked down at those headlines, and then popped open the paper to see what they were talking about? Or any of the headlines. Yeah, you did it. I do it too. So curiosity, play it up. And then, of course, we mentioned sense of urgency. And that's really valid. I mean, you got to get the people to act now. If you're pushing psychological hot buttons, that's going to wear off. The adrenaline, the endorphins, the serotonins, whatever chemical the brain is secreting is going to wear off. And that's why you never let somebody leave your website. You never let them leave your store. You want to close the deal while they're excited. So you always have some kind of sense of urgency. Similar to what I said before, either you're going to run out of the product, the sale is going to be over, or the sooner you get the product, the faster you're going to be taking advantage of its benefits. And instant gratification. The faster you can fulfill those expectations, the better. And play it up. Order now and we'll give you free shipping. Order now and we'll give you overnight shipping for free. Order now and download that white paper immediately. So instant gratification, strong motivation. Exclusivity and rarity or uniqueness. That's also important. If your customer, your prospect thinks that they're getting something that other people don't have and that it has value, just the fact that it's exclusive or rare or unique is incredibly important. You've seen Hummels and other type of figurines that are numbered by the company. You've seen photographs and paintings that are numbered by the artists. That makes them exclusive, rare, and unique. And people will pay more. I mean, I paid a crazy amount for a limited edition photograph. It's just a photograph. I don't know why I did it, but I did. I like the photograph. Simplicity. People want, first of all, the transaction to be simple, but they want their lives to be simple. So if you've got a product that can improve somebody's life and just make life a little bit more simple, trust me, they're going to buy your product or they're going to buy your service. And again, let me give you an example of that Stephen Covey, the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. That means that if you can learn some systems here, you can be more effective, it can simplify your life, and it can give you more time, more money, greater satisfaction, instant gratification. So simplicity is a very important psychological hot button. Human relationships. I mean, come on, is that what social media is all about or not? I mean, it's also about email. It's also about interfacing and socializing with people in every environment. Our family, our friends, our neighbors, our social groups, our church groups, our hobby groups, and all of the social media groups, as well as at work. So being part of a bigger herd, a bigger group of people, again, very powerful. Guilt. Make people feel guilty. I mean, when you're standing in the line and you can see 5 ways to lose weight, you feel guilty about the 2 quarts of Ben and Jerry ice cream that are sitting there. So you'll probably still buy the ice cream, but you may also buy the Inquirer to find out those 5 easy steps to losing 100 pounds. And you'll read that while you're eating your ice cream. So guilt, very important. Specificity. Be very specific. We mentioned that in the first round of hot buttons. Be very specific about your features, your benefits, and what that product is going to do to change your customer's life. And familiarity is also important. People want to be familiar with the benefits, the features, how that product is going to change their lives. Because the more complicated you make your copy and your text, and the slower you get to the point, the more the chances are that you're going to actually lose those customers. So again, communicate as quickly and efficiently as you possibly can. Now, features and benefits. Now, we just talked about the importance of benefits. Now, here's some features. Personally, I think features really kind of suck. Nowadays, people really don't care about features and benefits. They don't care about features at all. They care about benefits somewhat because they want to know how it's going to improve their life. And here's some that actually came out of some real life marketing. And let's just take a quick look at them. Pay us today. I mean, that's that sense of urgency, but that doesn't do anything to help with the sale at all. 20 years of experience. How many times have you seen that on the side of a truck or on a website? You know what? I don't care that if you've only been doing it for 6 months, as long as you're the best at it. I really don't care 20 years. You could be an idiot and do the same thing for 20 years and be bad at it. So that has no value to me at all. Go online to lower our costs. That's stupid. You may want to push them online to lower their cost of goods, lower the sale price, but to lower our costs, that's kind of just stupid. And you've heard this. We're the biggest, we're the best. Yeah, and so is your competition. Don't care. I know you're going to lie about that. Everybody's the biggest and the best. 20 new accounts. You know, again, that's a symptom of being the biggest and the best. Really don't care. We took a creative marketing course. We worked 60 hours a week on your account. Don't care because I said so. Largest offices, we're marketing gurus, social media gurus. Give me a break. I'm a doctor. I got a PhD. Yeah, a lot of those you can buy online. Our campaign was voted #1. We own 90% of the market. Well, why don't you own the other 10%? That's what I always want to know. So don't features, these kinds of features, this is old school. It just doesn't work anymore. So what are we talking about as far as the ultimate benefits? What should you be talking about? Well, look at these. Health. We mentioned that. Everybody wants to improve their health. Nobody wants to work at it, but everybody really wants to improve their health. Immortality, that has to do with living a long time, but it also has to do with leaving something of a legacy. If you can create something that is going to be around after you pass away, strong psychological motivation. Safety, if your product can boast that the product is safe or that it provides safety for the owner, absolutely. Comfort, satisfaction, validation, they feel good about other people using it. Convenience, either the convenience of buying it, the convenience of using it. Acceptance and love. You've all heard the marketing story about the man who goes into the hardware store to buy a 1/4-inch drill. Now the question is what is the man actually buying? And half of the audience says, well, he's buying a drill. The other half says, no, he's buying the ability to create a hole. Now we're starting to get into the weeds here. What actually is he buying? Is it the drill? Just the fact that he owns a drill is not going to make him happy. The ability to create a 1/4-inch hole. Okay, that could make him happy, but the reality is he's buying the drill to make a 1/4-inch hole in a spice rack that he's making for his wife's birthday. So what is he really buying? He's buying the love and appreciation of his wife. Isn't that true? You buy the drill, you drill the 1/4-inch hole, you build the spice rack, you paint it, you wait for the birthday to roll around, you give it to your wife, and the wife smiles lovingly at you. If you didn't have that drill, you wouldn't have gotten that smile and you wouldn't have gotten that love. So acceptance and love all traces back to going to the hardware store and buying a drill. If you could think of those terms all the time about your marketing, you'll always have a significant marketing edge, always. And then there's purpose and meaning, better life for my children, instant gratification we mentioned, new experiences, stability, shortcuts, and quick fixes. Man, if I haven't seen people, even in my new book, everybody said, okay, don't give me all the academic strategy. Give me 5 easy steps to social media success. Okay, so 5 quick steps. Balance. You're probably familiar with the SMPE acronym. If you're not, look it up. It's really cool. Answers, exclusivity, individuality, more energy, more time, privacy. These are all ultimate benefits that you need to address in whatever your product or your service is. Now, playing up the drama of your unique message to pique your audience interest. Remember, people buy out of fear, greed, guilt, exclusivity, salvation, flattery, and anger. If you can successfully write your copy, now I agree that all of these words look relatively negative, and they are, but those happen to be the most powerful motivators, most powerful. So just a fear of loss of revenue, a fear of loss of your job, a fear of just not understanding what everybody else understands. See, that will drive people. And the most effective response motivators, limited availability. We talked about that sense of urgency and exclusivity. Free with purchase. Throw something in there. Does your product require batteries? Give them some batteries. Filters or belts or accessories, throw in something. Anytime someone thinks that they're getting something for nothing, even if they're overpaying for the initial object, they're going to believe that they're truly getting a really good value. Premiums, multiple premiums, and think about what can you give away that you don't have any cost of goods associated with it. It could be a white paper, it could be informational, it could be a paper to show you how to use that product or service more efficiently in ways that maybe the customer didn't think of. Anything that adds value to the transaction. Free gifts to the first 10 people. Tight deadlines, discounts for fast response. You've heard that. Order now and you get these ginseng knives for free, absolutely for free. But be the 10th caller, and it gets back to what George Carlin was saying. But discounts for fast response is a psychological motivator. Or the reverse is true, penalties for late response. You've seen early bird specials on tickets for seminars. You pay for the ticket now and it's one price. Pay for it at the door or by a certain date and you're going to pay more. Sense of urgency. You can also add sweepstakes and contests because people believe that they're always going to be a winner. We're optimistic, and our human nature says we're optimistic. So you know what? Go get yourself an iPod Nano for practically nothing and give it away and watch what your customers do. Make it easy to respond. That's critical. Flattery, always flatter your customers. That always works. Credible testimonials. That's the root basis for social media selling, is peer evaluations. Other people, like-minded people, people that you trust, giving credible testimonials on a product or a service. Now, it doesn't matter whether it's LinkedIn, Twitter, or Facebook. That's why social media is so incredibly successful. Better than risk-free guarantees. We'll talk about guarantees in a second. And just, provide that valuable additional information. Now, things that you have to watch out for is please try not to write your text. Try not to market to people negatively. Don't use negative words. Almost always, and it gets back to math, and I don't want to mess you and get you all scared with algebra, but sometimes two negatives, when you multiply a negative times a negative, it equals a positive. So often, if you're using negative words, you can usually replace that negative words by restructuring the sentence to use a positive word. And let's look at some of these. Avoid negative emotional responses at all costs. You're going to describe the problem. You're going to tell the prospect how your offer solves that problem. You're going to tell them how much it costs, and you tell them how to get it. And things like your offer doesn't prevent bankruptcy. It delivers financial freedom. Avoid statements like you made the wrong decision. You should be ashamed of yourself. I mean, that's kind of ridiculous. People like you normally don't get an offer like this. I mean, okay, you see I'm kind of exaggerating here, but let's look at one that we all use every single day, and I'm going to just kind of switch it around a little bit. How many people, when you're done in an email or done on the phone, the first thing you say is, please don't hesitate to call me, and you think you're saying something good? Okay, I'm looking at the audience here. I see 90% of the hands are up, and the other 10% are just too chicken to raise their hands. We all say, please don't hesitate to call me. Now, let me just kind of go through this and see. I'll say each word. You tell me, close your eyes, and you tell me whether it's a positive or a negative feeling. Please. Okay, positive. Please is a very positive word. I like that. Don't. Extremely negative. Hesitate. Negative. Call me. Neutral. Okay, so we got a nice word it starts out with, and then we hammer two very, very strong negative words. Do you really want to leave your customers with the feeling of those very negative words? I'm guessing not. What if you said, please feel free to call me at any time? Doesn't that say the same thing but really have a completely different psychological feeling? Please feel free to call me at any time. Please, positive. Feel free, very positive. Call me at any time. Man, so that's what I'm getting at. Don't take stuff for granted. Look at the way you communicate. Don't take for granted that please don't hesitate to call me. Everybody says it, that it's a good thing. It's not. And I learned that years ago, and I always close with a very positive statement that means the same thing as that very negative statement. So remove risk with a better than risk-free guarantee. People want guarantees. The reason that people don't buy is because they are not comfortable with what if the product doesn't work. How many times did you want a piece of software online but you won't buy it because if it doesn't work you lost your money and there's no way to get it back? You know that if you see something on the shopping channel and it's $9.95 or $19.95, you know what? You could probably afford and recover from losing a $20 bill. So if the product was pure junk, you know what? Hey, you threw $20 at it. If it worked the way it said, man, it was worth 3 times as much. And if it's junk, like you probably figure it is, then the most you lost is $20, right? Okay, but and then, by the way, that's true for as seen on TV. All of those commercials, if you look at it, they try to keep the price under $20 because psychologically that's a a threshold for most people. I can afford to lose $20 on a crappy product. But your product probably isn't $20. It's probably significantly more. Your service is probably more. Is your product any good? Is it going to work? Is it going to do what you say it's going to do? Is your service have any value at all? Well, of course it does. So why not let the customers know? With I do professional speaking. Right on my website, it says unconditional full money back guarantee. If you don't like my presentation, I'll give you the money back. I know that I'm going to make you happy. I know that I'm going to do a good job. And I have never, in nearly a decade of professional speaking, have ever been asked to refund any money. So why don't you make a really, really strong guarantee to your customers? Exploit your strengths. I mean, look at some of this text while I'm talking. See what your competition is doing. And tell people, unconditional, satisfaction guaranteed, money back guarantee. If you can take that fear, again, we're talking fear, psychological hot button, out of your customer's head, that if they spend the money and the product isn't any good, then you can close the deal. Okay? So work your strengths, man. And can you guarantee? What kind of guarantees? For example, you'll never be on hold for more than 3 minutes. Okay, well, that's a heck of a guarantee. I don't know if I'm going to buy your product because of it. Maybe if I anticipate that your product is going to require tech support and you make that statement, all right, maybe you're getting my attention. That adds to the value. Always getting a live person on the phone during business hours. Get your product shipped within 48 hours. Okay, that's important because we all want it now, that instant gratification. They'll work with most knowledgeable, customer-focused employees in the world. Okay, their employee productivity was increased by X% in 90 days. They have one-of-a-kind work product or solution. So in your guarantee, call out some specifics that are going to be important to your customers. And here's some other examples. You can get them a job in 60 days, produce at least 10 new clients a month, increase donations by 20% in 12 months, double the traffic to your store or to your website, generate more traffic to your retail or online site immediately, keep them from getting sued or fined. I mean, that's a strong argument for email companies. I was just consulting with a company today, and I said, go with an email marketing company, such as RatePoint, for example, because it keeps you from getting sued under the Canned Spam Act. If you want to know more about it, I'm sure there's a video in here. Make them a better parent, manager, entrepreneur, salesperson, lover in 7 days. You read through the rest of these because this is real. Oh, and here's some examples. Get your package anywhere overnight. That single guarantee is what made Federal Express. There was nothing else. They did absolutely nothing else other than guarantee that your package would be there by the next morning or it was free. That was a powerful guarantee. And remember Pizza Hut, 30 minutes or less or it's free. Until, of course, the Pizza Hut people were running over people in crosswalks. Okay. Another guarantee, Papa John's. We use the best ingredients. Best ingredients, Papa John. You got to love that. And of course, removing pain, sell your home faster. Your realtors using that. Best dining experience, comfortable sleep. Always shave close as a blade. Norelco. So be specific. Try to find something that sets you aside from the competition and work it. Now, and again, removing the risk. Choose what your customers get if your product or service doesn't do what they promise. Studies have shown that less than 2% of customers will actually cash in on a guarantee. Studies have also shown that offering a 60-day or 90-day or even a lifetime guarantee will produce higher sales, less returns than a no guarantee or a conventional 30-day. Yeah, don't go with a 30-day. If your product isn't going to last for more than 30 days, then you know what? Don't sell that product anymore. Go do something different. So, you know what? Extend it because it sets you aside from the competition and makes you stand out. And then start with a no hassle, no questions asked, money back guarantee. And again, it sounds a little bit like George Carlin, but say it. Don't be afraid to repeat yourself. Say it different ways so that you really get that message across that your customers are safe. Okay? So now, make the the guarantee better than risk-free by exceeding customer expectations. Make the offer worthwhile to the customer. Be creative. Make sure there's value connected with additional incentives, maybe. Make your recipient see that you are literally removing all the risk. People risk their time, their money, reputation, and their status. Show them all these factors and secure complete. Yeah, I am reading it, but I want you to understand these words. Go beyond. Often, with one of my companies, a paper model company, if a customer isn't happy or the product doesn't satisfy their needs, the first thing that I'll do is I'll refund their money. The second thing I'll do is I'll often give them the product for free. I mean, my cost of goods is pretty low, but talk about a money-back guarantee. Not only if you're not happy, I'll give you 100% of your money back, but I'll let you keep the product. That goes above and beyond, and people love that because they can trust me. And no, we don't ever get bit on that. No, only I think once in 10 years has someone said that they weren't happy with the product, and we knew that they were. So, and here's some examples. A seminar company can offer money back plus a free admission to a future seminar. Automotive store can offer money back plus an oil change. It says 12, but that's a little bit kind of crazy. But a free oil change. Bank can offer to pay customers $10 if they wait in line more than 5 minutes. These, $10. That might sound like a lot, but if you know that your customers are never in line for more than 10 minutes, you can make that offer. And the couple of times that they do, the publicity, the press, the sales, the customer satisfaction that you're going to get for that $10 is overwhelming. So consulting can offer money back, a free analysis, special report. Service-based companies can guarantee that you'll come back again until the problem's solved. You can offer a money-back guarantee plus 20% of your purchase price. The point is, I'm not going to read through the rest of these, but the point is that if you go above and beyond, then customers are going to trust you because they know that there's some pain, suffering, and cost associated with your product if it doesn't work the way you said it's supposed to work. So go a little bit above and beyond. So that's psychological hot buttons. And again, get the slides. They're on the website here. Download them, print them, set them out, read through the slides one time before you write your most important copy, and just keep some of those in mind. That way, when you're writing your subject line for your email, the title of your web page, your opening line in your radio commercial, the title on your print ad, whatever the heck it is, and then you write your sentence, your copy, that you keep all of these words in mind. Because if you can work not only the words, but the whole feeling, the whole strategy into your copy, you're going to have significantly more effective marketing. Wow, I'm glad you sat through this. This was kind of a long one, but I hope you got something out of it. I love this. It's something that I'm really passionate about. And take a look for some other videos on this subject at Extreme Digital Marketing. And this has been Lon Safko, the author of the Social Media Bible, here for Extreme Digital Marketing.